Are you prepared for a cold weather, cold water recovery where your upper body strength just melts away because of the cold water? I'm going to show you a way to fix that and to double the solution as a stand-up assist rope.
Welcome back! If you're new to the channel, we cover kayak modifications, spin, and fly fishing. So poke that subscribe button so you don't miss anything.
About 2 years ago, I went to a meeting of the North Carolina Kayak Fishing Association where they were talking about the dangers of cold water. And at that meeting, the instructor had a cooler full of water and ice and had us stick our paw in there to see how long we could stand it. And it wasn't pleasant. I could only keep my hand in there maybe 30 seconds before it really got uncomfortable. And then he measured the water, and it was only about 40 to 45 degrees. And I know water in rivers can get much colder than that. And the bottom line was you have a limited amount of time to get back on your kayak and get dry in cold weather. So I've been looking for solutions to that just to share with you guys. I don't fish in cold weather, and came up with the Kayak Rescue Ladder or Kayak Stirrup. And I did some research online, I'm not an expert, to figure out the best implementation of that for me that would serve as the rescue ladder and my stand-up assist strap. So here's how I made it. The first step in building the stirrup is to feed a rope through a section of PVC. Now note how thick this rope is. You need to be sure you used a rope that has a high enough strength where it won't break. For example, if you just go out and get some of this paracord stuff, check this out. This is only rated up to 110 pounds, and it's going to take more force than that if you use it as a flip line or if you're kind of a beefy guy. So don't use paracord, use something that's good. Then the next thing you want to do is create the stirrup. And I prefer not doing a big loop with the hoe thing because you want the stirrup to be fairly defined so you can stick your foot in there. Now all I'm going to do is tie an overhead knot, and that's going to be good enough to define the stirrup. I quickly discovered when I got in the pool to start using it that I made a critical mistake. I made the stirrup too wide, and what happens is it just cocks like that instead of staying flat on your foot, making it difficult to get back in the kayak. So I cut the PVC to be more in line with the size of a boot that would be worn during cold weather, and this works just fine. The other thing I learned is that the strap doesn't, in fact, it shouldn't be very long. You can see here that it's only about a little bit larger than my knee to get up there. Now, even though that makes me put my knee like this, with the advantage of the PFD and kicking with your other foot, it's going to be relatively easy, at least for me, again, I'm not the expert, to go ahead and push down and skinny up on the boat. So now that I've got this set up on the kayak, let's look at how it worked. After you attach the stirrup to the other side of the kayak, the next thing to do is remove obstructions on the side you're going to enter. So it's nice having these ram mounts that I can just fold down. Okay, now when you do this, there is a mistake you can make of pulling too much on the kayak before you get your body up and over. You want your body to go flat against the kayak and not go up. If you go up, the kayak is going to flip back over on you like you can see here. Note the mistake I make here. I tried to go vertical instead of horizontal across the kayak, and you can really see that in the underwater camera view. The correct technique, based on my experimentation, foot in the stirrup, hand on the rope, and then go low, go very low across the kayak, and you can get back in. Whew. You can see that I kept my chest more horizontal and kicked more to the side instead of up. Now, one advantage of using a strap like this is if you don't want to use your stand-up assist rope as your flip rope, this can double as a flip rope. All you're going to do is you're going to flip it, and then you're going to have to throw the stirrup over to the other side, go around the other side of the kayak, and then recover it. Let me show you. So I've attached the stirrup to my other handle, and now all I'm going to do is execute the flip line recovery technique, putting my feet up against the kayak and pulling on the stirrup.
Here's the underwater view showing all the detail.
The kayak flips over. Now I take the stirrup, throw it to the other side, and now I can mount from that side. Hand on the seat, hand on the rope. I'm going to go low across the kayak. And now I'm good to go. So one of the lessons I'm learning out of this is why not just have my stand-up assist rope set up to work as the kayak strap. Right now, I've got this light rope that I don't think is going to work, and I've got a smaller handle here that I use to stand up. I'm going to go ahead and put the bigger strap on, use heavier rope, and now I've got one piece of gear on my kayak that can be used for two things. So what do you guys think? If there are any experts out there who have comments on how I did this right or wrong, especially wrong, I would really appreciate it, because we all want to stay safe. And if you fish in cold water, you definitely need one of these things, because that cold is going to sap your strength and you may have a hard time skinnying back up on the boat.